Greetings, friends. It's Liam Maynard here with CashIsTheAnswer.com, and this is 16 super simple ways to make money on social media. Let's get started. So, the first way that we're going to talk about is Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is getting more action these days. Not from everyone, but from a lot of savvy marketers and bloggers are using Pinterest to generate traffic, because Pinterest is a social media platform and it's also a search engine, and it's more visually based. And so, for example, how we started using this and others is in relation to our blog. So anytime we put out a blog post, there's usually several pins that we're also going to do on Pinterest, because Pinterest knows that it's easier to create pins than it is to make new content. But there's a ton of traffic on Pinterest that you can gather. And the difference between, as search engines go, Pinterest and something like Google is that on Google, it's really hard to rank for things like make money online or weight loss or things like that. And so you'd never do that when you're trying to rank something unless you've got a ton of money behind you. So what you do instead is you do long tail, so multiple words, these 7-word key phrases, that type of thing is what you do on Google. Now on Pinterest, you don't want to do that. When you're making Pinterest boards and pins, what you want to do is just tell them what it is that it's about. And you want to use short tails. So you want to say make money online. You want to say weight loss. You want to say travel. You want to say whatever it is and tell them specifically what it is. Because what some people do is they'll have these bizarre names for their pins and their boards on things on Pinterest, which just confuses them because they don't know what it is that it's about. So you don't want to do that. Now, to be able to do pins on Pinterest with your website, your blog, you need to have rich pins enabled. So there's a process. All you need to do is go to YouTube here and just type in Pinterest rich pin tutorial, and you'll get something that comes up telling you how to do that. But Pinterest is a great strategy for generating lots of traffic. So you just build it up one step at a time. Once you've got past, say, 200 plus followers, you can start joining group boards and things like that. There's also Tailwind, which makes it easier, which is a software which makes it easier to do pins on Pinterest. You can use that. There's something called Tailwind Tribes. So these are just various strategies you want to check out in order to generate traffic on Pinterest. Also, see the full blog post to this video. There'll be a link in the description, which will go into more detail about that. But you want traffic, check out Pinterest. So number 2 here is to run an online Instagram shop. So this is just one of the ways that you can make money on Instagram. And it's just having a shop, and you want to use something called Inselly. So you want to check that out. Again, there's more information in the full blog post, but Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, is a huge platform. So many people will be building up their Instagram profiles along with other social media like Facebook and Pinterest and YouTube and all kinds of other strategies. But don't forget about Instagram, and make sure that you check with the Instagram shop. It's just another way to generate income. Now, another way is on Instagram is to influencer marketing. So for that, you want to check out Brand Watch. You want to join that. If you're building up your following on Instagram, there's again more information in the full blog post, but you can do things like relevant hashtags. You want to use Instagram stories and IGTV. You want to cross-promote your Instagram account with other things like Facebook and YouTube and other, whatever other social media platforms that you use. You want to have a link to your Instagram profile in there, and you want to start promoting that, because the more followers you can build up, you can even be, your own influencer, and then other people will pay you and give you perks for basically promoting content out to your audience on their behalf, right? Now, number 4 here is getting monetized on YouTube. There's a couple of different ways, there's various ways to make money on YouTube, but one of them is getting monetized, which essentially means that, and you want to check out the specifics of what it takes to be monetized on YouTube, but it has to do with the watch time and your hours, etc. So you want to check out the details on that. But once you're monetized on YouTube, then you essentially get AdSense revenue from your YouTube channel. So other people will start to pay you for putting their ads, and I'm sure you've seen them all over YouTube, the ads that come over top of the videos, so the placement ads. So people will start to pay you, or actually YouTube will start to pay you, but other people will want to run ads over top of your videos once you're monetized. That's just one way of doing it. It's not the only way of making money on YouTube, because getting monetized can take a while. What doesn't take a while is ranking videos on YouTube. And there's a lot more information in the full blog post. Again, be a link in the description. But ranking on YouTube, basically there's a couple of things that you need to do. There's the on page, which is the same for all kind of SEO as the on page. And in this case, that would be the description of your YouTube video along with the tags, but also you want to have the file name of your video be whatever you're ranking for. You want to have an actual mini article in the description, use the keywords several times, and usually after we've done that, and you want to have a thumbnail, of course, too, but the title and the description and the tags are pretty much, and the file name are pretty much what you're doing on the on-page optimization aspect of this. And then after that, it's about links to your profile. You can do things like add it to a playlist and share it on social media and share it on maybe your blog or Blogger or something like that. You can share it and things like that nature. But after you've done some of the on-page stuff, you want to send links to backlinks from social bookmarking sites and other different types of backlinks. And you can get these done on services like Fiverr and Conquer. And in this case, you can actually safely do that and you'll get some rankings. Not all of them will rank, but when they do, then you'll get some traffic that way fairly quickly. And that's usually you want to go for long tail. In this case, unlike Pinterest, you want to go for more long tail key phrases because it's easier to rank for those. So you can use a plugin like Keywords Everywhere to see what the typical search volumes are, at least on Google. But Google owns YouTube, so it'll be relatively similar. Maybe you get more on Google or YouTube depending on what the search is, but you want to check that out. That's Keywords Everywhere based on Google, and you can just check out for things that are between 100 and 1,000 searches a month, and make sure that your key phrase is about 6 or 7 words type of thing. So keep that in mind. That's one way of getting some traffic. We usually just do 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 of these different gigs on Fiverr or Conquer when we've been doing this in the past. Now, strategy number 6 here is show off your writing skills on social media. So if you're any kind of a writer of any kind, if you're a copywriter, if you're maybe a blog writer, or anything else that you happen to be doing, you can showcase what you're doing on social media. And as you build up your own social media following on the various platforms, you can show off what you're doing and have links back to your work, maybe back to your blog or whatever it is you're promoting. You can have links back to that on social media, and because people will check that out if they see you online and see your work and they like that. Then it's a good way, it's a free way to generate some publicity that way. Now, Airbnb is kind of an odd one for social media in a way, but a lot of people are making money on Airbnb these days in 190 countries. And so what you can do is basically, if you have something in your local area like that, you can just start promoting it on social media, maybe boost some of these posts so more people see it, and just tell people about your listing, your Airbnb, right? So use that as just a way to promote that. With all these things, you can use social media and your network as you build up your followers to generate more traffic to whatever it is that you're promoting, right? Same thing with Amazon affiliates. So if you're an affiliate of Amazon's, then anytime somebody comes to Amazon and they buy anything on that session through your Amazon affiliate link, then you get a commission for that. So depending on how big the item is would be depending on what you would get, right? Because the commissions on Amazon are not that much, but it can add up after a while. So, and particularly if you're selling higher ticket items through Amazon and not the lower ticket stuff, then obviously your commissions would be higher. But again, you can promote this through all of your social media platforms. Just write posts and tell people what to do. Always tell people what to do. Go check that out in the description. Check out this link, etc. in your descriptions for what you're doing on social media. Now, 9 is sell rights to your photos. So a couple of sites you can use here are Flickr and Shutterstock. So if you're a photographer, if you've got any access to photos that you can sell, then this is just an easy way to put these photos up on sites like this. And then after a while, it can become kind of a passive income thing, because when you do it once and then you don't have to think about it. So if you are a good photographer, this is probably an easy way to make some extra cash. Now, start a group, Facebook or LinkedIn. So why would you want to start a group? Well, groups are big these days. Facebook's been doing a lot of promotion of their Facebook groups. LinkedIn also has them, as do other platforms, but mostly we use this for Facebook and LinkedIn. So if you are any kind of a coach or a consultant, which we'll talk about in a minute, then, or anything that you might be promoting, you can start a group around that. And in fact, you can go into other people's groups and start networking there and make friends with people, and then invite them to your group. And after a while, the nice thing about having your own group is that you make the rules. So you can promote your own stuff as the ultimate goal here. So if you start your own group and start promoting that online, then when it's time for you to do a webinar or offer your own product or service, then people are much more likely to take you up on it, or at least check it out. If you're the group owner, then the opposite, where you're trying to promote your stuff in other people's groups, which is possible, but it depends on the rules of the admin. So if you are the admin and you are the one who started it, then you obviously make the rules. And this is a good way that people use to generate coaching and consulting clients, for example, or anything else really. I mean, groups are used in a lot of different digital products as a bonus and an upsell, right? So you can meet a lot of people online and do some networking here in groups and use it to promote your own products and services and find other like-minded people as well. Now, likewise to the photos, if you are an artist or a musician, you can use social media to start promoting your art or music, whatever you happen to be doing. Sites like Tumblr are good for art. Sites like SoundCloud is a good one for music. You can share these things online, and as you build up a following, then people will start to take notice of whatever your particular forte is here, right? Now, number 12 is managing social media. So maybe after a while, if you've gotten good at this, you can actually charge people for managing their social media. So one way of doing this would be local businesses. And local businesses, basically, I mean, you can just go to anyone's page, like on Facebook, for example, and see when the last time they posted was. And what you'll find is a lot of people are really lacking here, because ideally they should be posting once or twice a day, depending on the platform. LinkedIn, you can get away with once, but other places like Twitter, you should be doing it several times a day if you can. But most people don't do that because it's time consuming, even if you're using software to do some of this, which would be a definite time saver. And if you are managing social media, you should probably be using software. But when you're doing this, this is just something that most people they feel bad about, because it's a top of mind strategy and they know that they should be doing it, but they don't. So you can take some of this over for people. You can charge quite a bit for it after a while. I mean, by quite a bit, I mean you can charge $300 to $500 typically for something like that, depending on what you're doing for them, right? Now, another way is through LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is great for the next one here as well, which is networking. So 13 and 14, LinkedIn's great for both of those, because LinkedIn is a platform that a lot of higher net worth people are in. So it depends who your target market is and who you're going after. But we've gotten a lot of success in terms of trying to find our ideal clients through LinkedIn and through their Sales Navigator software. And there's a gold mine of people who will talk to you on LinkedIn who won't give you the time of day elsewhere. If you, depending on what you're doing, like for example, in local marketing, if we wanted to talk to a dentist, for example, you call the office, you get nowhere, but they'll connect to you on LinkedIn and they'll reply to your messages. And it's the same with your target market. So just you'll be surprised who's on LinkedIn. So just find people who are the exact type of person that you want as clients and connect with them. And then typically what you do is you not just be a leg humping salesman, but you would actually try and add some value and ask them who they're looking to connect with. And maybe you can connect with them and make a post, to your network on their behalf about whoever it is they're trying to connect with, and try and do something to help them out at the same time. But a lot of people are open to talking on LinkedIn, so definitely check that out. Also, it gives you their best email address if they connect you on LinkedIn as well, so you can reach out to them on LinkedIn and then reach out to them by email as well, and it's usually an email that they actually check. Now, coaching and consulting, you can use all the stuff that we just talked about in terms of groups and networking with coaching and consulting. On all of your social media platforms, you want to have a link to your website where you're usually selling your coaching or consulting services. And then as you build up your following, you can do things that we talked about earlier about sharing your ideas on, like we talked about writing, you can, share your ideas, coaching, consulting. You can share quotes, you can share tips, you can share all kinds of things related to coaching, consulting. You can even start groups, as we talked about before, and surrounding whatever it is your specialty is. And then as people join those groups, you can have a link right on your page to sign up for your coaching or consulting, or to get a consultation, or whatever your process is. But it's a good way to showcase what you're all about, right? Now, lastly here, we've got paid ads. Now, this is the easy button. So, whatever it is you're doing, if you want to promote a group, one way of doing that is to run paid ads to it. If you want to build up your followers on, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook friends, likes, whatever the platform is, they've all got an ad platform. You can run ads on LinkedIn, you can run ads on Pinterest, and lots of people use this to build up their social media following. And then they use some of these other strategies to send out content to their growing audience. And one way of doing that that's cheaper is just to boost things every once in a while. So Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, you can just use some paid ads and boost some things so that you get a higher reach. Because often, and depending on the platform, you have to post quite a bit. Like I said, usually at least once or twice a day for people to actually see your content, because not everyone's going to. So one way around that is to just pay for more reach. And that really is the easy button. So if you can throw any kind of money into building up your audience, you're going to do it a lot faster. So in the description, you're going to find a link to our free course, which is 5 Steps to Facebook Freedom. You can use that with Instagram ads too. So that's just a training on how to make money online using paid ads. You can use that. You can use that free information. There's also a masterclass on building up a 7-figure online business, which our buddy John Pemberthy put up. So that masterclass will walk you all the way from whatever you're selling, your irresistible offer on that, to your sales page, your ads, your landing page, everything you wanted to know in between. So all that's just free content. You can check that out in our description. Hope you find this helpful. Speak to you soon.